Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and as I record this, it's late at night on June 10th. Both Microsoft and Sony have done their press conferences over at E3 showing off their new consoles, and I thought I'd share my opinions on the two. Here we go. Alright, first I want to talk about biases, and I talked about this a little bit in Painkiller already 136.5 with Kyle. We both said the same sort of thing. We are grown adults. We are not fanboying any product. Like, I sometimes am accused of being an Xbox fanboy because the Xbox was better in this generation, but, if you were me, you would feel the exact same way. The Xbox was better for the kind of gaming that I do. For the next generation, because I'm not a damn fanboy, I'm looking at both the consoles and trying to figure out what I like more. I owe my allegiance to neither of them. One thing that not a lot of people are talking about coming out of the conference is the monthly fee for PSN. Now, if you're going to play online for multiplayer, it's $5 a month, which incidentally, I think is the same price for the Xbox service. I'm a little confused. I pay $100 a year for 4 gamer tags as a family package, but I think $60 a year is both the price for the Xbox and the next PS4 online service. A lot of people will see this as a negative, and I understand where they're coming from. If you don't play games every day, then $5 a month, it can seem like an inconvenience. If you take the summer off and you're paying like $15, $20 for that to be covered, then that sucks. But if you're like me and use it every day, then the $5 a month is not a big hardship. Instead, I look at it and expect better service. One of the reasons that there were so many software updates on the Xbox side was that you paid for it. One of the reasons they were able to, I'll say, bribe Activision and get the thing a month early, to get Call of Duty map packs and stuff a month early, is that it's a paid service, and that gave them money to do those sorts of things. Well, now, if all these PSN users are going to start paying $5 a month, then we can expect newer, cooler stuff. Maybe Sony won't get outbid next time around, and they'll get the COD exclusives first. Who knows? I don't know when the contract expires, but being a paid service, if you use that service as much as I do, isn't a negative. It's, it opens some potential for good stuff. With regards to computing performance, I did what I think is the best non-biased video out there on the two, and I'll put an annotation on the screen. It was a Tech Tuesday thing. You may have seen it because it got a lot of views, but the graphical performance on the Xbox One is still rumored, and the rumors are all over the place, right? Some people are saying that it's going to have half the graphical performance of the PS4, which would be a deal breaker. Microsoft, if you're half with the PS4s, then you suck, you're not doing it, you're fired. I've seen rumors saying it's almost equal, and if that's the case, then it won't really matter, and they'll have to compete on some other grounds. But I'm really looking forward to the performance, and the fact that Microsoft's not talking about it makes me feel like they're hiding it, and that's not good. In terms of games and exclusives and stuff like that, I'm just waiting. The big knock on the Xbox One was that they didn't have any games, and then they went today and they showed a whole bunch of games and focused on gaming and tried to win back their hardcore Xbox One audience. I think they might be making a mistake, and I didn't know it was a mistake until I saw the reaction to their first press conference in going for the entire living room, right? They would like to be your home theater PC. They would like to be the place where you go first for doing any kind of entertainment, whether it be consoles or movies or TV or whatever. And I have a Roku. I just bought it recently, and it's a pretty neat streaming little device there. And I think, Xbox One, what are you giving me, aside from a crappy remote, for $500 that I'm not getting for $99 from Roku? Explain that to me, and I don't see a good answer to that. So the PS4 is $400. I'm using US prices because those are the ones I know, and the Xbox is $500. That's a problem. And in particular, Microsoft was stupid for bundling in the Kinect, right? That's at least partially responsible for the extra $100 they're charging per system. And a lot of, parents who are going to be buying this thing this Christmas season for their kids care a ton about that extra $100. It's a big deal to them. And when they see one for $400 and one for $500, and the one for $400 is better, but it doesn't have stupid games your kid doesn't like, They just made a huge mistake in bundling in that Kinect. You know, there are a lot of gamers, like I talked to my friend FPS Kyle from Painkiller already, and he says, you know, it's just effing creepy. I don't want the thing watching me. I'm watching movies and it's watching me back. You know, I have a webcam on my computer and I hate that it freaking points at me. I like the kind that have the little plastic slidey thing. So I know physically that camera is covered and you know, I put like a little pirate patch on it. Having a Kinect stare at you in your living room is not something that makes people comfortable, and it's not something that we want, and it's got this always on bullshit bundled into it. Why Microsoft thought it was a good idea to have a more expensive console with an eye looking at you all the time as compared to a less expensive console without it is beyond me. They just got it wrong. With exclusive games, that'll be interesting to see. You know, historically, in the last generation of consoles, I felt like, you know, who had the exclusive game advantage seemed to move around all the time. Like, there was a time when Left 4 Dead was dropping, and then, of course, COD comes first, and I felt like the Xbox had all the cool stuff. And then, you know, some other part of the year, Heavy Rain is dropping, and Uncharted is dropping, and it felt, or God of War drops, and it feels like all the cool stuff is on the PlayStation. I look forward to seeing what happens in the next gen. I guess it'll just be more of the same, but, you know... Man, I want to say that 3 weeks ago I was 80% in the Xbox camp. Mostly because in this gen, I had a better experience with Xbox than I did PS3. Now, I feel like I'm 80% in the PS4 camp. Mostly because the things that the Xbox is offering make me mad instead of happy.